Well, it's another amazing sunny warm day, so we're back out early and we're back at it. I've been repotting some of those flowers on that we bought recently as well. I found these containers to put them in, which I think are quite useful. And that's these ones, they hang on planters or balconies, whichever. But they've also got these bottoms on them, which you can take off. Lots of drainage holes, but I thought these are particularly good when it gets really hot, because if we're watering as plants and we leave that on, that's going to stop water completely draining away, so as plants don't dry out as quick when it's hot. And then of course later on you can just take that away and just leave it like that, and then any excess water is going to drain away. So I thought they were a pretty good idea. At least that's what I'm going to be using it for anyway. So I was thinking that if we leave that bottom on and add some water to it, it's going to drain slightly, but then it's going to reach a level where it holds water. That's the idea behind that. And I've already set up a couple on this balcony, and we're going to be putting some on fronts of these planters with some more flowers in as well. So this is basically how I've set it up, and I think they look really effective. And although they are pot holders, you could actually fill these with compost and just put your plants in directly, and then you've still got that reservoir at the bottom that's going to retain some moisture for you. So we've set one or two up already, and they were £2.99 these, so I don't think that's a bad deal. And we've also set a couple up here, but they're not staying there. We only did that so we can empty this, because this is the main job for today. I'm going to get it filled and we're going to get some plants in it. So, as a lot of people have mentioned, don't forget to make sure you've made holes in these liners, and that's where this tool comes in really handy again, because we know that these boards have got holes pre-drilled in them. So if we just feel where they are, I can just push that through and make us drain holes. But I'm also going to make a couple of extra slits in here where these boards are pushed together. Just give us a little bit of extra drainage. I think that should be plenty. So I'll just get the top one done and then we'll get these filled. So I'm just using multi-purpose compost. And I think these planters will probably take just over 2 bags, so about 110 litres. I'll just keep breaking up any really big lumps that I see. Now we've got that first layer of compost in and broke it all up, I'm going to add feed to it. So I'm going to give it a layer of 2 fertilisers. So we're going to add bone meal, I want to make sure there's plenty of nutrition in this compost. And then fish blood and bone. And get all that broke up as well, and we'll not be far off full. So there we go, both filled, and they took 2 bags each. We have left a little gap around top, which we always do anyway. So each one of these holds 100 litres of compost. This one we've just flattened off a little bit, ready for planting, and we'll do the same with that one. We paid £5 a bag for a 50 litre, so that's basically cost us £20 to fill both of them, and that's a really good growing space. So we'll get this one levelled out a little bit and we'll start planting. Before I put these plants in, I want to make sure that every one is evenly spaced. So I've just took an old broom handle and I've marked it. So all we need to do is put that in that planter. And then we can use this dibber to make us holes all at once. So that's all those holes pre-made. The first thing I'm going to be putting in on highest part of this planter is carrots, because carrot root fly can only fly to an height of 60 centimetres, so if we keep these on the highest level, that's going to solve that problem. And these are Chantenay oils, so I'll just pop that tag at the back and then I know what my first row is. So we'll get these plugs out and see what roots are like on them. And as you can see, they're quite dense, these roots, and if you look there, that's the start of a carrot. I'm going to just carefully untangle these, and I'm going to plant them as plugs. I was going to separate these, but it'll be interesting to see how they do planted in a bunch. We're only looking for small carrots anyway, so we can just push that first one straight into that pre-made hole. And that's his first one in, so we'll just get the rest of these in. It's going to be interesting just to see how these turn out, because I've never grown them from pre-grown carrots. Usually they're direct sown, but we'll see how they go. So that's all those in. We've left a little bit of room at each end, and we'll just move that back to the front and leave whatever gap we want between rows, and we'll get his next ones in. For the next row, I'm going to put in some shallots, because any type of onion is a very good companion plant for carrots. It disguises the scent that they give off, so they're less prone to being attacked. So we're going to put some of these shallot bulbs in as well. And they're not bad sized bulbs, these. I am going to space these a little bit farther apart than I did those carrots. And same as when you plant your onion sets, you've got that bottom where roots are, and you've got this top bit, so that needs to be facing upwards. And basically what you want to do with these is just push them into that compost and just leave that top sticking up. So pretty easy job. We don't want to bury the entire thing. I think that'll do us. So 2 things in, pretty quick job to do. So carrots, onions, and then we're going to put some lettuce in. And that's going to be little gem, small romaine type lettuces, but perfect to be grown in containers, and again companion plants of onions and carrots. And these plants are definitely ready to go as well. And when we plant these, what we want to do is plant them nice and deep. So in, and then push it right down like that, and firm around it. And you've got a nice little stable plant. And we've got a few left for another container. Last, I'm going to pop these peppers in. They've not done very well since we started growing them, so I think I'm going to pop these peppers at the front of this bed, give them plenty of space and see how they get on. I'm just taking some compost away from bottom as well. So we'll get those in and we'll see if these pick up at all. If not, we have got plenty more. For this next level, I'm going to add some beetroot. We're not too bothered about getting big beetroots. Baby beets will be fine. And then some Lolo Rosso. Really nice red lettuce. Loads and loads of roots. We're going to rough those up just to free them off a little, and we'll get some plants in. A lot of these leaves are yellowing, so you could just take those off. you can see that we've got lots of fresh growth already. I'll do that some other time once we've got them in and got them established. And that's another row done. Again, these are really nice elfie plants. Let's get them in. That's another row, and a few left over for some more containers. I'm just going to make an indentation in that compost, just a little trench, because what I want is to start growing some spring onions as well. So we've got a nice little drill there, so now we can just broadcast seeds into it, cover them over, and we'll get spring onions on way, and we can harvest those for bulbs or just green tops. So for spring onions, I'm doing white Lisbon. Make sure those seeds aren't stuck at top. I can feel a few. And I'm going to put a good amount in here as well. So I'm basically just going to rub finger and thumb and get these seeds in. I want some nice big green tops coming out of here. If you haven't done any spring onions yet, you can still do some. And then if you want to keep getting more, re-sow every 2 weeks, just same as your lettuce. Then all we need to do is just cover them over. And I'll just pat that down a little bit. It's very loose compost, this. So for this 2-tier planter, we've got everything sorted, and right at the front we've put some strawberry plants as well, so we've got quite a mixture of plants in here, and it's going to be interesting to see just how these do. So just to recap, we've got strawberries, spring onions on way, we've got Lolo Rosso lettuce, we've got beetroot, we've got some baby pepper plants that we've put in, little gem lettuce, shallots, and then a row of carrots. And tomorrow we'll take a look at what we can put in the other one. So if you're interested in seeing what else we put in this other planter, then hit that subscribe button and press that notifications bell, and I'll see you on the next update. And thank you so much for his latest donator. I'm going to pop your name on at the end of this video. Thank you so much for your generosity. It's massively appreciated. Take care.